Yeah, they wonder how I got what I got. Man, look, paperwork talk, the bullshit walk. If you want to go and steal somebody's video talking about who I am and what I'm supposed to be, I employ Bomb1st to have my brother Hen G come on and bring the paperwork on to Bomb1st, and he can read it. He also has a copy of this duly signed agreement that states all of the facts and how I got my piece and how I got my percentage. Yeah, let's get into some of this straight game.
Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy Delray Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button as it pushes the content out to more potential subscribers, as well as the people who are already subscribed. Subscribe yourself if you haven't already, and tell a friend. But like I always say, if you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching Straight Game TV, please, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please hit the bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, there's been a feeble attempt. And if you don't know what the word feeble means, please look it up. A feeble attempt to try to call me a liar. Right? To try to say I'm riding a wave. Right? I don't personally, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. and Gullible John has went, or I don't know if they went and, took somebody's video and played it on their channel trying to get my brother Hen G, who I have no problems with. But once somebody speaks on me in reference to something that they know the truth about, and they speak in a self-serving manner, I must come, and I must come with the facts, right? And so a video, you can go over there on Bomb1st, and look at it. They got a video, and my brother Hen G, who was who's one of the co-writers on the song One Day at a Time, done with 2Pac approximately 2 weeks before 2Pac passed. Some guy, I don't know who the guy is he's talking to, and he basically goes in and says, asks him, does he know about me? Hen G does not deny that he knows who I am. Correct? Point number one, if I'm a nobody, he ain't knowing who I am. I'm lying. If I'm lying, then he not knowing who I am. So point number one, that's, that they tried to claim or whatever, is shot down with that. Right? Okay. So he knows who I am. All right. And so he's saying, the guy's asking Hen G about, well, he said he's producer, has something to do with the record. And basically Hen G goes in and speaks from his perspective. It's not accurate, and it wasn't the truth. It wasn't the truth. And so, I'm going to give you the facts of the matter. So now, what I've told most people who understood and have listened to the videos is, before One Day at a Time was even completed, the song was my song. And me and Melly Mel from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 was on the song, and the song was called Just Cruising, right? I had a deal in December of 1996 with a record company that was distributed through Priority Records. That song, Just Cruising, was going to be one of the songs, if not the lead single off of that track, right? And so the record deal, they didn't come up with the money that they needed. My lawyer was on it, like a Charlotte Hornet. And he basically wrote them a letter, basically giving them 7 days to come up with the advance money and so on and so forth. They really didn't do that, so we got out of the deal. And so Henji took the track that he knew that me and Melly Mel was on, and we recorded on, and all of that, and he was a part of that situation. When the deal was about to come through, I would get calls from Henji, him asking, making sure like, yo, look out, man, don't forget, and da-da-da-da-da, and so on and so forth. When people do that, right, telling you not to forget them, they do that because their intentions is never to remember anybody when something good goes in favor of what they're doing. So you got to be wary of that, right? When somebody does that. I've always kept it 100. Whenever I did business with somebody, I always usually have a contract, right? And so Henji definitely does get credit, for taking, the track, my song, my track, and with that, him and my partner Jeeve and myself, we all were in the studio. We worked on the track, and Hen brung in the record like he said he did in regards to the vibe and come up with a new record. You know what I mean? Something loosely based on something, if you will. And so, but like I said, it was my song first, me and Melly Mel. So now the song's copywritten, done. We moving. Like I said, my first thing I learned in the music business was to copyright your material. Do what you're supposed to do. Handle your business, right? And so, sometime or another, Henji, goes up to Ice's house, Ice-T, and he gets 2Pac to rap on the track. Unbeknownst to me, I never knew that 2Pac had rapped on the track. He didn't tell us. You know what I mean? My partner, Jeeve, who I had a contract with, you know what I mean? We had a company called Paperwork Productions. The song Blackjack, the video that you see on my YouTube channel, me and my partner Jeeve, we co-produced that and co-wrote that, right? And that's on my album. Which one of my albums is that on? That's on my album. Who Would Have Thought? I believe it's Who Would Have Thought. One of my albums, right? And so Henji goes to Ice's house, and 2Pac records that one verse, and so on and so forth. And I have the original of just 2Pac on it, nobody else on it, just those vocals, just that track. I have that, right? How did I get that? That original one, right? And so now, Afeni Shakur, after 2Pac died, she's looking around about 2003. She's looking for people who worked with 2Pac, had any songs, any vocals, any whatever involving 2Pac, right? So now, Henji represents as if he did everything on the record. The whole record, all the producing, everything. He did everything, right? He misrepresents the fact that he did that. Goes, makes a deal with Afeni, right? She pays him money, so on and so forth. We don't really know nothing about that. Me and my partner G, we don't know nothing about that, right? Until the record actually comes out. So the record comes out. The song comes out on the Resurrection album. Eminem reproduced it because he did a deal for the vocals and so on and so forth. Eminem reproduces it, and the brothers, the Outlaw Brothers, get on there, which I you know what I mean? I'm happy that they did. And so I go to the studio one day, and me and my partner G, we working on some new material, so on and so forth, right? So I go to the studio one day, and he tells me, he was like, yo, he'd say, Henji did some this, that, and the other, some bullshit or whatever. And I'm like, what you talking about? He was like, and he lets me hear the track with 2Pac on it. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, that's my motherfucking song that me and Melly Mel did, that we did, because blah, da, 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 da. I'm like, yo, I got it copywritten. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I got that copywritten. And he was like, oh man, I could huck you. You know what I mean? Cause he was happy, cause now, there's, no doubt of what it is, right? Okay, cool. We get our people to call Universal and let them know that there's a lawsuit that's going to possibly happen if this thing is not, if everything is not, there's basically a cease and desist, but not in that manner, because people have relationships with people where they could call up the Universal and get that help. So they going to hold all the money. Nobody going to get paid. right? In regards to this record, okay? And so what we had to do was we had to sit down, basically, and hammer it out. And so Henji had claimed everything, right? And so what we did was, here it is right here. See that? See that? See all of that? Because I handle my business. You know, they say lies run sprints, but the truth runs marathons. I told you what it was before. No, I wasn't in the studio when Hen let Pac rap on the track that was my song, period. You know what I mean? And so what we did was we came to a settlement because nobody wasn't going to get paid. And there was a possible lawsuit that was going to happen. That's what happened. So when somebody comes and they tell you something, a lot of times things are self-serving, right? And let me be perfectly honest with you, because I am always. In this settlement agreement, right? New splits, everybody, it gets broken down like it's supposed to. And so they came up with this exhibit, or should I say an amendment to this agreement, basically saying that, oh, you know, Henji and my partner G, they did the track, you know, I ain't had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I did the other song and so on and so on and so forth. I wrote the song and so on and so forth, right? And so for me, I'm like, I don't really care about that. You know, that's some shit, because if that's the case, now y'all basically, they signed an agreement. They now signing this amendment agreement, basically saying now that, oh, that Henji and Jeeve now did the track. But when Henji went and did the deal with Afeni and the estate, he did everything. Look on back of the record. So if you did everything, why now would you need to go and make an exhibit or an amendment to the original contract now saying that Henji and Jeeve did it? That's Monday morning quarterback and trying to, me and you did this, let's write up an agreement saying he had nothing to do with it and so on and so on and so forth. I didn't care about that. All I cared about was the first part of the contract, where them splits was going to get split it up like they were supposed to. All the rest of that shit, you can have it. It didn't matter to me because I know what was real. So much so that Grandmaster Melly Mel, my brother, he didn't even trip on the part about that. He was like, nah, I ain't worrying about that, though. Handle that. You deserve that. You know what I mean? And so therefore, Melly Mel didn't even trip about it. That's what happened. And so if it wasn't for me having the copyright paper, we would have never even got our share. Period. You heard him say it. So there was a little bit of truth mixed with the self-serving story that he told some guy that called him up and was trying to get him to, I guess, talk bad about me, say something about me. Hen did say I was riding some wave. Yeah, that wave that I was riding, or that I'm riding, that he says, is a wave that I helped create. Period. So people want to look at it for whatever reason they want to look at it. But Gullible John and Reggie the Wright Jr., basically, yeah, the joke's on you. I handle my business. I'm proficient in law. You've seen it, you know. And I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for you to respond to that phony copyright claim when you copyright claim my video for something that was covered under the fair use doctrine in the copyright law. I'll be waiting for that. And then I'm going to show everybody how I beat you with this copyright thing. You got to sue me in federal court now. I'm waiting. Oh, yeah, you got to go file that, man. Y'all got to handle that business. I'm waiting. Because if you don't do that, you know that copyright claim lips and my video goes back up. Yeah, the one y'all copyright claim because you didn't really want the truth to be out there. Or how you felt about Tupac? Yeah. Yeah. So I have nothing against Henji. You know what I mean? Even after we had the little thing with the business thing and so on and so forth. That's my man. I got nothing but love for you, Hen. You know what I mean? But the optics of what you said and how you said that could have been presented a little bit better. Just along with the truth and the facts. See, I have no problem telling the truth about it. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. I've moved on. We 15, 20 years, almost 20 years ago, right? Man, I'm not worried about that. They're worried about it because Gullible John and Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. have never done anything creative in their life other than get on YouTube and talk about Snoop and talk about Daz and talk about DJ Quick and talk about old stories over and over and over and over and over again, telling the same old stories. And somehow, some way, they've appeared to be successful, but really not. Really not. And so when you understand that and you understand what I just told you, right? I got paperwork. And I would say this, I'm going to encourage this. Henji, Bomb1st, pay Henji some money. Henji, go on Bomb1st, bring the contract, and read it for him word for word. That's what I would do to really prove my point. If Delray is, riding a wave that he didn't help create, if he's out here capping, if he's out here lying, read the contract. I encourage that. If I'm lying, read the contract. I don't have to read the contract because I already know what it says. But since people are out to prove that I'm lying or whatever, I employ, because Henji has a copy of this contract. Absolutely. I employ to read the contract. But I would say block out the percentages. They don't really need to know all that information. But you can read the contract to them. Okay? And so, like I said, once again, that's what actually happened. That's how it went down. Henji basically claimed that he did everything. When the record came out, it had him as the producer, him as everything. The only writer, the only everything. And the copyright paper that I had put that bullshit on hold. That's what happened. Those are the facts. So once again, when you sit down and you think that Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. and Gullible John, the guy who sit up there and lied about some big ass cap check he got, and we found out that it was $115 because Gullible John forgot to blacken out that part. You believe in them? They went and got some video, somebody talking about something. You believe in them? So that just tells me that you want me to not be who I say I am. But no matter how hard you want me to not be that person, it does not change the fact that I am who I say I am. And I represent what I say I represent. Truth and fact. Like I said, you want the truth? I employ them to go get, and y'all can present the contract. Read it. Read it. And you'll understand what I'm talking about. Your boy Delray, straight gang.